Okay guys, this is John from Easy Motors again. Here to help you with your Mule Pro FXT 1000 or any of them with the 1000 motor. Usually, I think that was 2024 and up if I'm not mistaken, but it should apply for any of your Mule Pro FXT 1000, any of them with the 1000 motor in it. This is going to be a video on your final front gear case oil change. Final drive, front final gear case oil change. Boy, that's a mouthful. Anyways, here's the actual maintenance, on it. And we're gonna go over here to the machine. I'm at my 20-hour service. This is what your machine should look like, or something similar to this, not necessarily the same color. But anyways, we're working in the front here. And what I've done thus far is I've removed this front plug. They say that you have to remove your front bumper and brush guard and things like that. I did not find a need to do that. You can get a ratchet set up just like this. I think this is a 5/16 Allen head. I have a little set that looks like this here. I think this is just a Husky. Anyways, you have your plug in there, and then you're going to be able to reach that through there. I can tell you I had to use a breaker bar on mine. The factory spec is 25.3 is the torque on this little guy. And it was way, I'm a decent sized guy, and I had to actually use a torque wrench on this. So the factory probably should heed to their own torque specs, I would assume. But I've heard other people complaining about this, but it is over tightened from the factory. So we can complain to Kawasaki about that. But anyways, this here, I removed that first so that it can vent. You should be able to put your arms down in between everything to reach that. And I was able to reach in from over the side and get my breaker bar in to untighten this bolt here. You want to remove that. When you put it back in, it's 25.3 foot-pounds of torque is what the factory tells you to put that on. It does have a small O-ring around it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh, shoot. Has a small O-ring. They do recommend replacing that each time you check that. I don't know that it's necessary every single time, but every once in a while that little O-ring probably needs to be replaced. And at any rate, when you do go to put that back on, put either a little bit of grease or oil around that so that it seals up real nice for you. The other part is you put a pan underneath. You want to make sure you're on level ground, and then directly underneath there is another one of these that came out of here. So that one was not too tight. Again, when you put that back in, you want to let that drain completely out. It doesn't take long. It only takes a half a quart when you put it back in. I'm going to get to what you need to put back in it. So it doesn't take that long to drain out. I let it drain out completely. They recommend warming up your engine and taking it down the road for a few minutes to warm everything up, to get all the debris heated up so that it drains out properly. When you put that back in, the torque spec is 25.3. So you do not want to over tighten this stuff at all, because it's usually going into aluminum threads and it does have the gasket on there, so it's going to seal up on you anyway, so it'll be fine. So put that back in when it's done draining, and then I think the reason why they want you to take the brush guard off is because it's hard to fill this back up. And I was able to find a cheap little funnel and has a hose on the end of it, and that's going to allow you to, I snuck in the side over here. Yeah. I'm going to put that in there just like that, and that's going to allow me to fill that without removing the front brush guard. Now again, this only takes a half of a quart approximately. You just fill that up to where it just starts to run out just a little bit. It's supposed to be level, just level right there. When it just starts to run out, the threads right there, that's full enough. You don't want to really overfill it. You don't want to underfill it. Just when it starts to run out a little bit. Usually about a half a quart. That's all that came out of there, is it barely filled the bottom of the pan there. So it was pretty clean. Didn't have any debris or anything in it, but they do recommend doing that. I think it says at about 20 hours, replace that. This is the stuff that they recommended at the Kawasaki dealer. It is SAE 8090 gear oil with limited slip, and you can get this at any Kawasaki dealer, and you're just going to have to buy 1 quart. It's only going to take a half a quart. You'll have the other quart for when you, the other half of the quart for when you do it again. So just put it back and save it. But this here funnel, Garage Boss is what it says. I picked this up out at Myers, I think it was, but I'm sure other places have it. They were actually closing these out at Myers. I did not pay very much money for this, but it's called a transmission funnel. I have a different type over here also that you can find these about anywhere. This type of a funnel here, it has the flex hose on it. I use that pretty much on a daily basis. Those are real nice because this part here flexes, but you can find those at any parts store. I've even seen them at Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, places like that. I've seen them, and then plus at any of your auto parts stores, your Advanced Autos, AutoZones, wherever you frequent shop at, they should have that there. But that, I would recommend getting one of those. It saves you a lot of work from, not that the front brush guard's a lot of bolts to take off. I think it's 4 to 6 bolts, something like that. But it just saves you some time if you get a little cheap funnel like that, or the other type, which is a little more expensive. But it's worth having. You're going to need it. But this is John from Easy Motors. Hopefully this has helped somebody out. And like and subscribe if you don't mind. And we'll see you again next time. Thank you.